You're taking 5 minutes.
I want to thank Brendan Howlin for bringing this timely motion to the House. At this time of national crisis, it is vital that we review, examine and reform how we use the powers vested in us by the people. The public interest and efficiency with the elimination of waste must be re-established. In that regard, I want to concentrate on one area that I have raised repeatedly and that needs urgent attention. That is the transfer of power vested in this House by the people to unaccountable quangos. Our system of democracy is a relatively new system. Our history books barely reach any form of elective process. Rather, we learn of a system of wars and battles to establish our rulers. Gradually, a system with some form of representative parliaments were established. First, they were confined to the landed gentry and these of substantial property. Eventually, all males were given the right to vote, but women were excluded. After considerable struggle, the system we now know as universal suffrage was established. So we now have a representative democracy. It is recognised that in this system, power lies with and is vested in the people. The people select one of their number to represent them through a secret ballot. The people thereby transfer their power to that public representative for a limited period to serve them by exercising the power so transferred. If they are not satisfied with how that power is exercised, the people can and often do take it back. The exercise of that option may be used in large measure by the people in the near future. It is the duty of this House to respect and preserve that power we are given and to exercise it for the common good. It is our duty to hand power back to the people when the time comes. But because we have handed over power, and large tranches of it, to a wide range of state and semi-state bodies, let's call them quangos, we cannot hand that power back to the people. We have thereby diminished the hard-won authority of the people we represent. Every time we set up an authority or body for whatever purpose and declare it is independent, and despite the fact that that authority will be 100% funded by the people's tax, I, as a public representative, am precluded from raising a question or placing a motion in this House on how that body is using the taxpayers' money. That diminishes democracy and dilutes the power given by the people to Parliament by giving it to an outside unaccountable body. That is an abuse of the power given to us, and it should never have happened and must be reversed. It is not only at national level that this democratic deficit has been created. At local authority level, we elect councillors but deny them any real authority in deciding how local services are run or how they are financed. Local authorities, county councils and city councils, etc., are run and managed by unelected officials, and the councillors become a buffer between the public and the management. It is now time that we expressed our faith in democracy at local level and restored power to these chosen by the people, and returned the managers and his large staff of civil engineers and programme managers to the role they should have had, and that is advisers. The outcome of this is that there are somewhere in the region of 1,000 areas fully funded by the taxpayer, areas where I, as a public representative, cannot raise or question in this House where I have been sent by the people. These range from health to roads to the environment. Only last week, when I wanted to raise an issue about a local illegal dump in my constituency, I had great difficulty finding a form of words to overcome the fact that a quango was responsible for such matters. A quango.
Just 1 minute.
Until quarter.
If you're taking 5 minutes, you'll have 1 minute left.
I can take as much as I like, Chair.
Yeah, you can, but
okay.
That's a matter for you and your colleagues.
Don't waste another minute on me.
I'm just trying to help.
All of these quangos have boards, chief executive officers, chairpersons, and of course spin doctors to tell us the great job they are doing for us. They are all rewarded for their services, with some paid more than the Taoiseach or our ministers. Apart from the democratic deficit they create, perhaps there is an area of major savings that could be explored here also. I am not suggesting that those of us who are elected do not need experts to advise us. We do. But it is just that advice. It's when the experts become and the advisers become the decision makers that democracy is diminished. I want to refer briefly to one aspect of the government's amendment to our proposal. They welcome the government tabling of a Dáil reform package. What crass hypocrisy! The package was discussed in detail at the Dáil Reform Committee, and at the point of agreement, the government chief whip informed the meeting that he did not have the authority to proceed. In other words, the government's own package of reforms was vetoed by the Taoiseach. In conclusion, let me say this, Cathaoirleach. We must restore the right of an elected member of this House to raise questions and get answers to the use of taxpayers' money. That is an essential of democracy. We must reclaim and restore to the people the powers they vested in us. Quangos are a negation of democracy, and where they are seen to be useful, they must be accountable to this House. As the Minister of Finance said in this House, government by Quango is not government at all.